Athens is remembered as the birthplace of democracy. But its story begins with land. Sea, silver, empire, exclusion. Civic tension, and ambition. Athens grew from Attica. A landscape of rocky hills. Farms, ports, and sanctuaries. The Acropolis was sacred before it became the city's most famous monument. Athens preserved memories of older palaces, walls, and heroes long before democracy. Athenians later told stories of uniting Attica under one city. But the process was long and layered. Before democracy, elite families dominated land, law, and memory. The name Draco became attached to harsh written law, where violence and justice met in public memory. Solon tried to ease debt crisis without handing power to one side entirely. Athenian freedom was shaped by the fear that citizens could fall into debt bondage. Tyranny in Athens was not only repression. It also shaped festivals, roads, sanctuaries, and public identity. Cleisthenes reorganized citizens into tribes and districts, turning geography into politics. Local demes made Athenian citizenship practical, recordable, and political. The agora made politics visible in daily life. Beside trade, gossip, worship, and law. Ostracism let citizens vote a powerful man into exile without calling him a criminal. The Persian Wars forced Athens to choose between city walls, ships, and survival. Marathon became a memory of citizen soldiers facing imperial power on Attic soil. Themistocles saw that Athens' future might depend on ships more than walls. Silver from Laurion helped pay for the fleet that changed Athenian history. The fleet gave poorer citizens military importance, pulling democracy toward the sea. At Salamis, narrow water turned Athenian naval planning into Greek survival. Persian destruction left Athens with ruins that later builders turned into political memory. The Delian League began as alliance and became the foundation of Athenian empire. Stone tribute records show empire in a colder language than patriotic speeches. Piraeus made Athens a maritime city tied to sailors, merchants, foreigners, and grain. The long walls joined Athens to the sea, making the city powerful and vulnerable in a new way. Pericles' Athens mixed democratic pride with imperial money and political theater. The Parthenon was a temple, a treasury, and a statement about power. Art made Athenian power visible through marble, bronze, ivory, and gold. The Panathenaic festival tied citizens, gods, girls, writers, and sacrifice into civic identity. Athenian drama turned myth, war, grief, and politics into public argument. Tragedy asked the city to watch kings, families, and gods fail in public. Comedy made mockery part of political life, even when the target was powerful. Athenian democracy depended on huge juries, speeches, water clocks, and persuasion. On the Knicks, citizens could decide war, money, exile, and law by voice and vote. The Council of 500 turned democratic government into daily administration. Lotteries helped Athenians imagine office as civic duty, not only elite privilege. Athenian democracy excluded women, enslaved people, many foreigners, and children. Women shaped households, religion, textiles, and inheritance even when public politics excluded them. Resident foreigners powered trade and craft while remaining outside full citizenship. Athenian freedom rested beside slavery in homes, mines, workshops, and fields. Socrates made questioning look dangerous in a city proud of public speech. Sophists taught argument, language, and success, alarming those who feared clever speech without truth. Plato turned the trial of Socrates into a lifelong argument about justice and the city. The academy made philosophy a place, not just a conversation. Thucydides wrote war as fear, interest, plague, speeches, and human calculation. The Peloponnesian War tested every Athenian strength and exposed every Athenian weakness. The plague of Athens showed how walls that protected the city could also trap suffering inside. The Mytilene debate revealed democracy arguing with its own rage. Melos became a warning about what empire can sound like when power stops apologizing. The Sicilian expedition began as ambition and ended as catastrophe. At Syracuse, Athenian naval confidence broke far from home. War pressure opened the door to oligarchic coups and fear inside Athens itself. After defeat, the 30 tyrants showed that Athens could lose democracy from within. Democracy returned with amnesty, memory, and unresolved grief. The trial of Socrates became a symbol, because a democratic city condemned a questioning citizen. After empire, Athens remained influential through law, schools, theater, and memory. Demosthenes warned that Macedonian power would change the Greek world. Philip and Alexander did not erase Athens, but they narrowed what freedom could mean. Hellenistic Athens became a city of schools, monuments, patrons, and memory. Under Rome, Athens was admired, visited, funded, and curated as a classical memory. Our Athens is shaped by surviving elite male texts, inscriptions, archaeology, and later admiration. Objects from houses, wells, graves, and workshops make ordinary Athens visible. The popular version celebrates democracy, but often forgets exclusion, empire, and labor. The marble image hides paint, scaffolds, politics, workers, repairs, and contested memory. Athens matters because it lets us see freedom and domination growing in the same city. The strongest Athens is not a slogan. It is a city tested by evidence. If Athens gave the world democracy while denying it to many around it, what exactly should we inherit from it? So Athens should not be remembered as a clean invention, but as an argument carried by real people on a real hill. Its democracy spoke in assemblies, but it survived through ships, silver, allies, and the restless harbor below the city. And behind the famous speeches were homes, workshops, women, foreigners, and enslaved labor that made the public world possible. The safest way to meet Athens is not through praise, but through things it left behind. Its democracy was not a perfect idea floating above history. It was a daily practice under pressure. The same city that taught citizens to speak also taught allies what tribute and command felt like. That is why Athens is useful. It refuses to let freedom become simple, clean, or self-congratulating. Maybe the lesson is not to worship Athens, but to study how power borrows the language of liberty. When the marble fades, Athens remains a warning, a workshop, and a question still waiting for an answer.